women are vindictive fucking cunts. And they will try to ruin that for you. Well, that's, once again, a different story that for a different day.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
I'm Allison Bradley.
And I'm Jamie White.
And you're watching Wells Fargo Presents Vice Media's Her Story.
Okay, Allison Bradley? Is that a reference to something, or is he just using a fake name for some reason? Or is that his real name? And Sam Hyde's the act. I've heard Sam Hyde's actually the act, but there's no way he's actually saying his real name either, right? So, like, I'm already confuzzled, but I'm a little tarded, you know. Also, this lady was part of a different Sam Hyde video earlier this year that we reacted to.
We'll be taking on a selection of topics, things that you care about.
It's a meme woman. Listen, I'm retarded!
What's America talking about? What does America need to be talking about? But on top of the great investment advice and financial products you find day to day at wellsfargo.com, we're also talking about ladies.
One of the largest.
Oh yeah, I'm also genuinely surprised that Wells Fargo is sponsoring this. So I know this is also being done by Vice too, which I'm also kind of surprised Vice is working with Sam Hyde. But you know, I know they're also dying because all these other leftist rag outlets have been dying for years now, because nobody likes them. But based off all of Sam Hyde's content in the past, I'm actually genuinely surprised Wells Fargo is sponsoring this.
Epidemics facing this country right now.
I'm going to refer to you as humans. I think that's the most limitless term for what you can call a group of people. Equity versus equality. What does it mean? Let's talk about it, starting with whoever wants to speak first.
Equity is something that you hope to attain throughout your lifetime. I see I'm probably the only oldest person here, so I can speak from experience that I own my own home. After 27 years, they keep trying to raise my taxes, raise my insurance. It's a whole other story.
I think he meant equity more in a social sense.
I think equal doesn't always mean fair.
Here we go.
So, like, you know.
Like I said, I know Jean was in a previous Sam Hyde video, and she was relatively okay. So you can definitely tell that she's like a boomer feminist, or she was actually pretty based on some things. So there's some issues I had with her. I don't know if the vid's still on YouTube or that got part of the wipe from all those months ago at this point. I don't know. But I'm curious if they had her here as a troll or if she legitimately thought that that's what equity meant. Oh, she's memeing too? Yeah. I was like, I could see her being a troll since she's kind of part of the Sam Hyde gang, but at the same time, you know, yeah. Wait, is this really sponsored or that was a joke? I don't know. So far, we're only a minute in, and all the jokes have gone over my head. So, you know, we're off to a great start as it is. They're required to work with him as part of the lawsuit judgment? What lawsuit judgment? Well, I feel like I've been under a rock. Like, I'm not gonna claim to be Sam Hyde's biggest fan. I'm really not. But at the same time, like, I like him. What lawsuit judgment? What's going on here?
For example, how do I put this? Like, if, you know...
Does anybody have gaffer tape? You got gaffer tape back there? You got tape?
Max, gaffer tape.
Thank you. Is this okay? Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. Does it sound fucked up? Testing. Okay.
You were saying equity isn't always fair.
Well, I was saying that, like, you know, equality doesn't always equal fairness. So, you know, like, let's just say there's like a housing situation where there's a whole bunch of people living in a house. We should all be paying like equal parts rent, but
Eric,
like
can you
if
throw me
your
that water?
family...
Another metal bottle?
Her hair is so greasy. Okay, I'm gonna be a catty woman for a hot fucking second. I guess she's not wearing makeup. Okay, fine. You know, I'm not exactly a big makeup person myself. The most I wear is like mascara, maybe eyeshadow for like an event. But her hair is so greasy. It's badly styled. She's obviously overweight, and she just looks awful. Like, lady, you're going on camera. At least be a little bit more presentable. But of course, she's a feminist, so she doesn't care.
Our family...
Another metal bottle? I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
Run it back. You were just saying.
Okay, so you're like scrounging and saving and eating ramen noodles.
In today's society, what is a woman?
A person born
Completely
with
disregarded.
2 X chromosomes. Whatever she does with her life after that point, she's still a woman.
Sounds like a complicated answer.
I agree, though.
See, I think it's more about not what is a woman, but who is a woman.
Imagine if no teeth. what needs to be put in like a fat camp, like a woman training camp where like she can learn how to shower and lose the weight and just not be where the fuck goblin she is right now.
Mm.
A woman is someone that can reproduce life.
Exactly. A woman is not high heels, makeup, and gender roles.
But you're saying that it's somebody who can reproduce life, but you've had a hysterectomy yourself. Does that mean that you're no longer a woman because you cannot produce
No,
life?
because I was born with those protective parts.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Oh, can I call you?
She really did that argument where this is what I kind of mean with the fact that I know Twitter is not a one-to-one to real life, but it is an actual good reflection of real life and how people think. Now, this is like with Vice, it's probably in San Francisco or wherever in California this occurs in, so you're going to have more of those, left-leaning women there. But this is a very common argument on Twitter where people are like, a woman is, a biologically female, she's got the chromosomes, etc. She's the one with the childbearing hips, that kind of deal. And then the feminist comes in and be like, well, if you had a hysterectomy, that means you can't reproduce, so therefore you're not a woman anymore. It's very, it's like, that's fucking retarded. Like, you're literally either born male or female. There's like a 0.001% chance that you're intersex. That's because God hates you, and I'm sorry. But that's completely off the grid right there. Either born male or female. And if God hates you and you have trouble reproducing, that sucks. But if you have the bodily autonomy of a female, then you are female, no matter what you do about it. No matter how much you mutilate yourself, no matter how much you pump yourself with fake hormones, you are still a woman. That's how you're born. There's no in between. There's nothing about it. Get the fuck off Twitter and go touch some grass.
Black?
Sure.
Black. It sounds like you wanted to push back there a little bit. What's the reason for the pushback?
I think that woman is a gender, whereas like male or female is your sex, like whether you're a woman or a man or non-binary or all gendered or whatever, like that's in here. Like male.
All gendered. Holy Tumblr. I used to be a Tumblr girl 10 years ago, more or less at this point in time. And I remember all the different types of genders that they had. There was because there was intersex, there was non-binary, there's gender fluid, there's like demisexual, which I guess is more of a sexuality than an actual gender in their eyes. There's but they did have a demi-gender as well. There's two-spirited. There's a whole bunch of different random shit that they would just make up to make them feel special about different things. And non-binary actually took a very long time to catch on into the public eye until roughly 2020. Give or take. I guess maybe a little bit sooner than that. Non-binary was actually purely Tumblr until the Tumblr containment broke. Until then, it was just basically trans. And then the non-binaries wanted to co-op the trans movement. I say co-op because the thing about this, there's a difference between being non-binary and trans. They're not actually the same thing. Non-binary, the whole point is that you're not supposed to have a specific gender. Transgender means you're actually supposed to be switching from one gender to the other. You are specifically supposed to be the other gender that you were born as. Non-binary is supposed to be no gender. You're not supposed to be based off the binaries there. They're not the same thing, but the leftists decided to combine them in the two, mainly because women, which I'm assuming she is one of them, didn't want to go the full mile with transitioning, and so they just said they're non-binary just because they didn't want to be feminine, but they didn't want to go the full mile and actually transition themselves. So, fuck this shit. Get out of here with your non-binary, all gender, any of this stuff. Okay, but then again, the whole point is that these are feminists, so they're retarded by default after all. My streamer was a retarded feminist, yeah, when I was 12. And I stopped when I was about 14, 15 years old. When they start talking about wanting to kill all men, and then all cops are bastards and different things like that, and I found Sargon of Akkad, and I've been gradually going more and more right since then. So I don't know what the fuck I am now. I know I used to consider myself a classical liberal for a very long time during my teenage years in high school, but yeah, I'm at the point where I've been a non-feminist, an anti-SJW. There we go. We can use the classic terms. I have been an anti-SJW longer than I was an SJW at this point in time. Sam's being a spawn camp by Tumblr. Yeah.
Or female, that's what's down here. I just don't think it's fair to say that what makes a woman is whether or not she can reproduce, because there's plenty of female parts having people who can't reproduce, or people who were assigned male at birth who identify and present as a woman.
But I mean, being a woman is not like a feeling. It's a state of being. You can't just like wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm a woman now because I'm wearing high heels and makeup.
Right.
It's reducing womanhood down to, misogynistic stereotypes.
You're saying that we can't define women because less than 1% of the population is intersex. So we have to create new language, and we can't call women women because people's feelings?
Well, no, I think everybody's entitled to their own feelings on, what it means to them, but like that's just what it means to me personally. But everybody's entitled to their opinions and how they would like to perceive it,
Well, he did ask what is what is society is what a woman is to society, and I think it's what is on your ID.
I'm trying to listen to what they're saying, but I am getting distracted by their names, and I'm like, should I pause, talk about their names, or should I just ignore it? But like, at the same time, how Timothy Penis, little fucker orc lift certified. How can I just ignore that?
A woman is to society, and I think it's what is on your ID. If you go through the biological changes to get that changed, then you're a woman. But it's an adult who has the little W on their ID.
You mean an F?
Oh, female. Yes, I'm sorry.
The government ID, the self, or modern psychology, and nature.
I think at Wells Fargo, what we want is a way to merge them all together.
And get them equity.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
I'd like to change time.
Change time. Wouldn't we all?
I think housing should be a basic human right.
I think animals should be free. All animals should be free.
I guess the big
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, but my brain short-circuited by how retarded that sentence was. All animals should be free. They should just be free. No extra clarification, no explanation, no nothing. Just let them be free. All animals. Okay.
corporations, I think we need to get back to the little guy.
Let's not go there.
Well, it's interesting that you say, like, let's not go there, but I thought this was supposed to be like a, no holds barred sort of open discussion.
About women. Open discussion about women.
Okay,
Let's
but what
get
I
back
said,
on track.
basic affordable housing doesn't necessarily have to be just about women.
We can talk affordable housing. Wells Fargo has many programs in place to help the underserved, underprivileged communities. In New York City and Queens, we just donated $20,000 to the Red Fern Housing Project. I'm proud of the work that we do with under-income housing. It's not an issue to talk about housing.
We gave $20,000 and made a beautiful park out of old tires.
What are we thinking? Is it time for white women?
Okay, okay. The Wells Fargo thing has to be a joke, right? Like, I thought it was serious in the beginning. Because, like, there's probably, like, there has to be some sort of, like, legal thing, right? By claiming that you're being sponsored by something that you're not and opposing of this. And the women seem to be, like, believing about it. Like, Jean, I could see her being part of the bit because she's worked with Sam before in the past. But, like, these other women, like, they don't, how, what? I don't. It's a joke, Jamal. 112 IQ, by the way. I'm pressing X to doubt on the fact that I have 112 IQ. It's mostly likely a joke, yeah, because, like, I thought there'd be, like, legal consequences if he takes this thing too far. But, like, this is clearly a bit. With Sam Hyde, everything's a bit low. I know everything's a bit with Sam Hyde, but, like, there's also some legal part of this. Oh, my God, I'm sorry, Just put me up on one of those chairs with those women while I'm at it.
To stand aside?
Well, it's actually a pretty noble observation that I'm noticing that there are no POC present with us today.
POC.
All people of color. That has nothing to do with the fact that there were people of color. But that did, in fact, happen. Trust me,
we
thought
actually
about
have
it.
a good representation. I
I
think we have a decent representation here today.
I represent as Caucasian. My grandparents fought for that
Sure.
proper title. Caucasian is like hardly ever in a discussion. And everything I fill out is non-Hispanic, non-Latino. And I hope I don't interfere with anybody else's thoughts process. But just speaking as a non-Latino and non-Hispanic person, that's not the only ethnicity.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be a non?
Sometimes we see some of the forms and some people write space alien.
How can you be a non?
And I think some white women do need to stand down just because the privilege gets out of hand sometimes. Not exactly the privilege, but the savior complex of I need to represent these groups when a lot of the groups didn't ask for it and don't need it.
But the thing is, these people wouldn't have a voice if it weren't for white women. Or nobody would listen. That's the problem.
Listen, I grew up in a different age as all these people here. I was told to go home to the kitchen. I was going to be a police officer. I had many things thrown at me. And to this day, if you look in Rhode Island television, that's all you see in the background of white men, white men, white men. Once in a while, you'll see a person of color.
A misogynistic blue state.
Sorry.
I know, I know. I
was told many times I had children. I said to the cop, I said, well, who takes care of your children when you come to work? He says, well, my wife, of course. I said, well, maybe mine will. Like, what's the gig?
Right.
What's the problem with that? I need a job. He goes, well, there's many men that need jobs. They have families to support. No child support.
Yeah.
And so I struggled, whatever.
Maybe Wells Fargo can help you with some financing to provide those for you.
No, my rate's lower than it is right now, but thank you.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely keep in touch.
What is it with
Okay. Then there's a lot to unpack there. Holy shit. Okay, so for the first girl, not the old lady here, Jean. She's clearly Asian, but she's got some white mix in with her. She's got like some like naturalish red hair, a little bit of freckles. She's got the Asian eyes, but like just the Sam Hyde being like, well, nobody would listen to them if white women didn't speak up. That is a funny problem that the left has when it comes to white women, because they're like, oh, women need to stand together and fight against the patriarchy and rape culture 2014 feminist style. But white women, though, they're white and they have extra privilege, and so they need to stop with the savior complex, and they have as well, because we don't need them. We're strong and independent, even though we didn't exist in this country until 40 years ago. And we're stealing everything from the white women as well. But fuck the white women. We don't need them anymore. It's this huge double standard when it comes to leftism, but that's very common. And as for Jean, like I said before, like she can be pretty base. She's like a boomer, right? Well, actually, she's like 59, I think. It's her real age. So that's not an actual boomer. She's like late Gen X, if I remember my time periods correctly. But she's getting there, right? And unfortunately, she is a victim of the more feminized society, in the sense that like women should be at home taking care of their kids, like those other coppers were, doing with their lives. That's the natural order of things. That's what women enjoy more. It sounds like she's a single mother. I can't remember her story from the last Sam Hyde episode because that was so long ago now. But if you're a single mother, that's on you, right? And I not to like attack her personally, but I fucking hate single mothers with a burning fucking passion. Like, if you open your legs outside of wedlock and have a kid because you're retarded, that's on you. And well, it sucks that you can't get a job. You shouldn't be having a job because you shouldn't be having kids outside of wedlock. And unless you get like divorced because the man really fucks you over with, let's say, cheating, well, we use a very common example in this case. That's a little bit different story. Or he dies, how about that you become a widow because he dies. That's a different story. That's a highly unfortunate, and you were wronged, and there should be, it would be nice to have some sort of like local community safety net, so the government safety net to take care of it. But if you were a single mother because you had no self-control and you open your legs, that's unfucking you, and I don't have any sympathy for you. And I hate her trying to play victim about it. Or really any single mother would try to play victim about it, in the sense of, oh, well, I had no support. I had to raise my kids as well. I had to go get a job on top of that, and being a single mother is so difficult. Well, maybe don't be a fucking whore. Like, it's not that hard. The purpose of sex is to have babies and to strengthen your relationship. You should not be just giving it out every single chance that you get. Like, you need to be selective for a reason. Women carry the highest risk when it comes to having sex. It is I know women and responsibility, I know women and accountability don't go together, which is why they shouldn't have rights. This is why you don't give them a credit card or the 19th Amendment or any of this fucking shit in the first place. But believe it or not, there are some basic human responsibilities that you should have, and that's the woman's role, is to not be a whore. Listening to women in the Pig 25. I know. Why would you ever listen to women? Women are retarded. Oh.
Child support.
Yeah.
And so I struggled, whatever.
Oh, fuck
Maybe
off.
Wells Fargo can help you with some financing to provide those for you.
No, my rate's lower than it is right now, but thank you.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely keep in touch.
What is it with men's obsession with female body hair? What's going on there?
I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I dated a guy who didn't like me to shave at all, nothing. But then I've been on the opposite side where it's any stitch of hair, just disgusted.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I
love the
shaved
crotch
my
shot.
legs to come here so I could wear this dress.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, poof.
That the male obsession with specifically the lack of body hair goes back to like
Attraction to prepubescent.
yes, pedophile tendencies, the want for someone to look younger and hairless and clean and tiny.
I haven't removed
I like how she started with the pedophile thing, and then she said clean. Men find that attractive because they're pedophiles, but then she also said in the same sentence that they see that as also being clean, and so she's basically just saying that being a pedophile means you like women to be clean, or if you like clean, then you're like which for the record, you know. YouTube. I'm not saying this. She's saying this with her implication here. Like, men like clean-shaven women because it is clean. It is a purity. It is soft. Women have softer skin than men, and when it's shaven, and freshly shaven too, it is actually really soft and smooth, and men really like that. It is more feminine. It's not because of pedophilia. It's just a feminine nature because men like soft, clean, and cute, believe it or not. It doesn't mean that they want this prepubescent different things like that. It's simply just a matter of hygiene. And men's hygiene and women's hygiene, believe it or not, is different. Because guess what? Men and women are different. They like to complain about double standards, but it's not double standards. They're there for an actual legit reason. After all, like men's grooming standards is usually like a beard and a mustache. But they're still expected to shave their dick and their balls, or or maybe they don't have to keep it like completely prim and proper all the time, but not have it be its own bush, or else after all the woman's gonna be sucking on some grass instead of the dick instead. In that case, men usually have like shorter hair. Obviously, some guys rock long hair, but generally it's shorter hair. They shower, they work out. They have a different standard because men are different than women, which obviously these women don't really believe in this case, but they're feminists, so what do you expect? The whole point of a woman is to have kids. The whole point of a woman is to be attractive because men's most important thing for a woman is that she's attractive. Personality comes second. I know some men in the chat are probably going to disagree with this, because they're smart. Actually, hold on, let me rephrase this essentially like that. They've learned the hard way that you can't just like a woman because she's attractive, because she's more than likely going to be a bitch, which is very unfortunate in the modern times. If we go back 50 years ago, this wasn't such a big problem. Women are supposed to be more attractive than men because men's biggest thing is attractiveness when it comes to finding a mate, because that means that woman would have attractive babies to help carry on his lineage. That's just how the biology works in this case, which is why women have makeup. Women like have the corsets before. They have to shave. They have different clothing styles, hairstyles, all these different ways to make themselves more attractive to men because that's what men care about. Women care more about resources and fitness. I'm down to be a dad, but the dating pool is fucked, lol. Okay, listen, no socialism, okay? But if you're 6'1", 180 pounds, work a physical job, and lift weights 3 times a week, It sounds like you have things relatively put together. I don't know how you're a chick repellent, because it sounds like you're a Chad. And a lot of in that regards, once again, no socialism. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. I'm just saying this. Okay, like it sounds like you should be physically attractive in that case. It's just honestly, and this is not just like a you thing. I feel like it's just the fact that the whole dating pool, like you said, it is fucked across the board. There are many men like you, that are struggling because just it's 2025. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, women are being brainwashed into feminism, as we can see here with the Sam Pie video. They can be girl bosses and don't need no man. They can just go sleep around and get any male attention that they want. Because men, unfortunately, have become desperate because the dating pool is just so bad. And so they don't actually have to settle down. They can do whatever they want. And it's only when they hit the wall at 30 that they realize, oh shit, the clock is ticking. I actually really want to have kids. My body's screaming at me. I need to settle down. And most guys don't really want a woman at 30 because she's already 1 foot into the grave at that point when it comes to having kids. Like, there's a massive drop in a woman's egg quality and productivity once she hits 30. And a lot of guys don't want that. They want a girl in her early 20s because she's going to be a lot more fertile. That's the reason why guys are notorious for dating significantly younger women. For literally that reason. It's just what men do. And yet, women can just go to college, they can party, and they don't actually settle down. And then because of the internet, they think they can get any man that they want because, well, the rule used to be that women control access to sex and men control access to relationships, but now it's completely flipped. Where basically men control access to sex because they're the ones that can tell the woman no, and then women control access to relationships now because they can be like, well, I'll fuck you, but I'm not gonna date you. But a guy's not doesn't want that. So, like, yeah, of course they want the sex, but what's the point if there's no relationship that you can't actually settle down and have kids with? And yeah, somehow we're the bad guys because of it. Yeah, it's not men's fault.
Back to like
Attraction to prepubescent.
yes, yes.
God, and we're talking about shaving.
Pedophile tendencies, the want for someone to look younger and hairless and clean and tiny.
I haven't removed any
Clean
of my
and
body
tiny.
hair since I was 14 years old. I've always lived that way. I've always sported it shamelessly. And nobody's ever really given me any hell over it, you know? Like, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm proud of who I am. And, you know, you would think that, like, there would have been some people along the way, like, you know, commenting on that in a negative light, but there actually hasn't been. If anything, I've received more, you know, praise for it than anything.
But you think that it borders on what you would call
That's
extreme
not-
pedophilia.
That's not my personal opinion. I think
You would
that's
say that your personal opinion is that it's extreme pedophilia.
no. I
Borders on
That's
that.
what she
I
said.
mean, we're women, and you know, we naturally have hair down there. So when a man is like, "Oh, all off," it's like, "Well, I'm a woman. Do you want a woman or do you want a little girl?" You know, and that is what bothers me.
You know, over 100 years ago, Gillette wanted to sell more
So if a woman asks a guy to shave down there as well, because men also grow hair, because in order to suck his dick better, she doesn't want to be soiling in his hairs and eating that kind of grass. Does she actually want a little boy? Does she want a man? Like, we could literally reverse his argument to the men. Granted, since they're feminists and they're all fucking fat, they probably, well, not all of them are fat, but still, they probably don't actually suck a guy's dick. I can almost guarantee this fucking cunt right here in the black suit probably dates women. She's probably the one that beats them too, more than likely. Which, to be fair, beating women is base, but like, come on. What are we talking about here? You want a man or a boy?
razors, not just to men, but to, you know, women too. And that's when they started that campaign of like,
I like that.
Yeah.
A war on pubes from Gillette.
yeah, no, it was like a cultural
Gillette, the
thing
best
from
a
Gillette.
man can get. That's what they said. That is the slogan. So
Right.
fuck Gillette twice, right? It's time to blow the building up. And here's how you do that. You can buy Tannerite online. Fill up a U-Haul truck, rent it in an alternate name, a credit card that you can buy also online, and then drive it right into the building. Gillette's located right here in Foxborough.
She's trying so hard not to laugh and just sit there and just be like, what the fuck? Oh.
abortions, poison, treat it like a slave. What? Here she got her back. Yeah, you're a good guy. You're a good guy.
Imagine being a 40-year-old guy that's like, hey, we'll let you in the front. Like, you got a hamster. You're like, no problem. You just hold up a golden retriever, you blow his head off.
Dude, you're so gifted. How'd you get so gifted? I'm up. I don't know what's gonna happen.
This was the worst in U.S. history. The shooter was a man named Stephen Craig.
He just looks so good, does he? I feel nothing. I just have a hunger for people's pain.
Here is a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the scum.
What people would traditionally think of as heterosex is inherently violent. What do you think of that?
Men are more close to predator genomes than women are.
I don't know.
way back.
I can be a predator sometimes. You know?
Yeah, she'll probably smash them. She's like, what, 250 pounds or some shit like that? Jesus Christ.
Men are pictorial. They can't stop looking. They look all the time. Look, 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 look.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that, look at that.
I don't
It's
know.
literally part of their biology.
Well, I'm an artist too, so I mean, I
can see it.
You know, I have naked people coming into my studio just, you know, to draw or whatever. But you know, I'm naturally curious too, for men and women. The human body is curious to me.
Have you ever been on a nude beach?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Moonstone?
Oh yeah.
I have.
I feel so bad for people who've seen her nude. I feel so fucking bad. I'm so glad she's wearing this dress too. Like she's fat, like she's extremely overweight, right? She's a land whale. So there's no helping her no matter what she wears. But at least she has the decency not to be one of those women who wears borderline nothing at the weight that she's currently at. And the thing is, she can lose this, right? Like, she can completely lose all this weight, and yet she doesn't because she's a feminist woman. So here we are, and I feel bad for anybody who's seen her naked.
Try to be naked as much as possible, actually. You know?
I do like that you brought up a point about, you know, like women having sexuality too. Like it's not always just about the male gaze, you know, like females and women, like they very well too have their preferences, have their, you know, sex appeal, and women are allowed to have sexualities.
She's so beat out, like busted up facially, damn lol. Yeah, like the thing is in her case, so she's a little bit overweight too. Black's a slimming color, so it's kind of hard to tell with the rest of her body, but you can definitely see it in her and her face. It's really bad with her turkey gobble going on. Holy fuck. But I was going to say, it's she's such a typical fucking leftist, going back and forth with her beliefs, not being consistent at all. Oh, but it's not just the male gaze. Women have their preferences too, as women's rights. But ooh, the evil male gaze. Lesbians like sexy women too, which lesbians don't exist, by the way. All women are bisexual. But yes, yeah, women like, you know, boobs, because they like attractive women too. You know, that happens. Yeah, they like that kind of stuff, because that's what's attractive. Everyone knows that a thin woman with nice tits and ass is the most attractive. That is like the universal standard for attractive women no matter where you go. Every once in a blue moon, you'll find some sort of like backwater African tribe that really likes some fat bitches. But generally, you know, a nice hourglass shape, maybe a little bit of chub is what people normally like, no matter where you go. Even women prefer that too, which is why they tear down any other woman who's actually attractive and say, "Yes, queen, go eat more of those hoagies and more of that pie and gain another 30 more pounds," because it just ruins their chances of getting an attractive male for them, and therefore they have. Wait, let me rephrase that. It ruins the chances of their friend being able to get a mate, and raises their chances of getting a mate instead with less competition there. So. No septum ring, I can fix her. Salt, I know you're desperate, but come on, man, have some standards. Unless, which one are you talking about, though? So.
Too, you know, and it's okay to be turned on by things. It's okay to want attention for those sexual things.
Is there a limit to where that should go, in your opinion?
Absolutely not. Normalize getting tested regularly for STIs. If I'm gonna go on a date with someone, like that's gonna be one of the first things we do together on a date is to go to a clinic and get tested for STIs.
Really? That's a strange date.
How much is she sleeping around? Bro, like, yeah, you should get tested, obviously. But if you're sleeping around so much that you need to get regularly tested, and that's literally your ideal first date is to get tested together, bruh, how many bodies do you have? Like, I personally don't find her that attractive, but I do know that, you know, guys, especially with, like I said earlier about the dating scenes and stuff like that, you know, that kind of deal. Plus, she's probably bisexual because all women are bisexual, and she's clearly some sort of butch lesbian type of deal going on with her. But, like, still, what are you doing here? First thing on a first date? Yeah. What's going on here? Romantic blood drawing. I can almost see it. Right. What the fuck? You just, hello, yes, I know nothing about you, but we're gonna get tested now. Why? I don't even know your name. Because you're assuming we're gonna have sex? Well, duh. I can't comprehend this. Oh my god.
Jenny, that would be a funny date.
It's the ethical thing to do.
It is responsible.
Ethical?
It's responsible. It's ethical.
Bro, the ethical thing to do is like wait till the third date to have sex. Because, okay, I'm more for the position of waiting till marriage at this point in time, but I also understand it's the year of our Lord 2025, and that happens a lot sooner. So, you know, if you're going to be like, you know, you should wait. You shouldn't put it on the first date, but you know, at least wait till like the third. I like that's like the bare minimum. Okay, but like but okay, yeah. It's the ethical thing to do. That would okay. Third is pretty early depending on who you ask. LMAO. Yeah, I know, but like, unfortunately, it's 2025, so third is unfortunately like in this case, actually pretty late for a lot of people here.
Is sex work ethical?
No. It's been around for generation after generation. What do you think marriage is?
Let her cook.
What is marriage? It's a legal binding document that says this man owns this woman.
Logic.
She takes his name, and we have worked for years to take that over. Now, a lot of women keep their own name. We're not.
I hate it so fucking much. Women should be owned by men. I hate women's rights so much. Repeal the 19th. Stop them from getting credit cards. Stop them from being in the workforce. The only thing women are supposed to be good for is baking cookies in the kitchen and baking a baby in their own oven. That's literally it. Okay? Once the robots come and replace them, women are over. So before, like, and I seriously believe this. I hate robots. I'm not actually a fan of AI, but it is the future at the current rate that we're going here. So women need to fix their fucking shit or they're gonna be replaced. And unfortunately, that's not happening at the rate we're going. Women should be subservient to men. That's literally their fucking role in the relationship, is to back the man up and give him kids. Take care of the household and raise those kids. Like, while the man goes out and forages and kills. But, oh yeah, the patriarchy, we must take that back, you know, now women can keep their own name. Isn't that so progressive? Oh, fuck off.
Not property. Women are not property. No more than a man is my property.
Women
When I
are
was
property.
married, my husband was not my property. Did he stray? Yes, he did. That's why I left him off the property.
You suffered a foreclosure.
No, actually.
Okay, so your man did stray. Now, were you guys married or not? I forget her story. Because if you guys weren't married, well, not that that stops men from cheating regardless if they're married or not, but that would be an extra safety net. That might be a reason. Well, why didn't she get child support, actually? I'm kind of curious now in this case. But unless you picked wrong, which a lot of women do, which is why I'm also coming around to arranged marriages as well. What did you do, woman? Because, like, did you not give him sex? Well, that's the main reason why men stray. Were you a fucking cunt? Is that why he strayed? Because, you know, men do want to be comforted. There's a lot of sensitive young men out there. What did you do? What did you do? Okay, that's my first question.
Actually, I saved it. But he would. he did.
Oh, you would call marriage sex work?
Yeah. You think that husband's not going to go out and get sex somewhere else if you don't give it to him today? You think he's not going to pay your bill next week? Even when
They're not gonna, okay. A decent man is not gonna just, as soon as he say no, he's not gonna immediately leave and find somebody else, okay? He'll only do that if it's been like a year or two since you've given out anything. At that point, that's your responsibility. Once again, I know I've kind of made this point a lot so far. It just keeps on coming up, but that's literally is the woman's role. He will stray if you don't take care of him. He chose you for a reason in the first place. He obviously likes you, like, or he should have liked you. If you're not giving out, then yeah, he'll find someplace else. Men have a high drive, you know, like they jerk off like once a day or some shit like that. And once a week minimum is usually what a lot of guys settle for. You know, a lot of guys would prefer a lot more frequent than that. But as long as you give me that, they're usually pretty happy. As long as you're also not a bitch too. Fuck, a lot of guys will capitulate even if a woman's a bitch, as long as they're still getting it, because they're happy that they got an attractive woman that actually wants to have sex with them. Like what the like? I guess. Okay, like I don't think it's sex work. It's called loving your spouse and taking care of him and his needs. What the fuck, man? A year's the longest time. I think a few months is long. Oh yeah, no, a few months is too long. By the way, it's just that a lot of men would also try to fix the relationship and be like, hey, what's going on here? You know, I like to have sex more often. What can I do to make this better? And actually try to talk to her and figure out what the problem is after a few months have passed. And if it's been a year and nothing's actually changes, then yeah, then they're probably going to stray. So, sex for rent exists in Canada without marriage, but marriage is sex for bills. It's the double fucking standard. Women want their cake and want to eat it too. They want to be able to live in the house, have the bills paid, and not have to worry about anything, but they don't actually want to do anything that makes the man want to be willing to do that in the first place. She acts like women don't want sex till a male. Well, women's sex drive is a lot not as strong, and also with birth control, that kills their sex drive because it tricks their body into thinking that they're pregnant 24/7. And then it alters their brain chemistry. And keep in mind, too, especially in the modern day age, a lot of women go on birth control at like 14 years old or some shit like that. Between like 13 to 16 years old is like around the ages that a lot of girls go on birth control. That's during puberty. That's when the body is sorting itself out and trying to make that girl into a woman. When she's having artificial hormones being pumped in her with birth control at that young age while she's going through puberty, you don't think that's not going to have some sort of permanent effect on her for the rest of her life? I mean, yes, if you get her off of it and to the copper IUD or abstinence and condoms, ideally she'll reset a little bit. But I would love to see studies done to actually test the long-term effects of what happens to girls on birth control between like when they get on it between like 13 and 16 years old while they're going through puberty, and see the damage done to them, because I bet it's absolutely massive. And yeah, that kills their fucking sex drive. It ruins them. That's one of the major reasons why women are so terrible these days. We need to get them off of them. You shouldn't be giving your 13-year-old the pill. I understand that you're worried about kids having sex, and unfortunately they will have sex without them. Ideally, you should raise them properly, but in a modern society like we have, they're probably going to do it anyway, so you do need to help prevent safeguards on a lot of cases. I don't like it, but it's 2025, it's almost 26. But you need to make sure it's not hormonal, or else you're asking for your child to be fucked up. Some of the damage is permanent, and it's damage to the brain, yes. It's literally hormonal. It goes into their bloodstream. It affects their heart, their brain, their blood. Everything about them gets screwed up thanks to hormonal birth control. And then on top of that, you know, it's not just women most affected in this case. It doesn't get it goes into the water source as well, because it doesn't get properly filtered out when they pee. And so then it goes into the water system. And then all of a sudden now we have a lot of men that are a lot more feminized and soft and gay. And so Alex Jones was right. They are literally turning the freaking frogs gay. So here we are. Congratulations. To be fair, my sister uses to manage her cycles. That's not a valid reason. No offense to your sister, but your sister's retarded. Well, okay. Your sister probably fell for propaganda. That's more than likely, which women do fall for propaganda. A lot of them are giving it, like, because of their periods to help regulate their cycles, or lessen how heavy their blood flow is. There are natural ways to handle that. How do you think women lasted until the 1960s with heavy periods? Like, okay, once again, women shouldn't be in the workforce, but like they shouldn't have to actually worry about a full-time job where the period actually affects them, and with their heavy bleeding and different things like that. There are natural ways to regulate your cycles, watching what you eat, exercising. There's supplements, like healthy supplements for different vitamins, probiotics, cranberry juice, different things like that would help with her periods in general, instead of putting fake hormones in your body that fucks you up permanently like that. And the fact that 14-year-olds are being given this because they get heavy periods, okay, guess what? Women always have heavy periods. That's literally just how biology works. There are ways to work around it. Put a hot pad on. Going for a walk helps deal with cramps. Like, there are different, once again, natural ways to help take care of this. That's what women have been doing for literally millennia here. It's not till the 60s, 70s, and 80s when the birth control became more normalized and accepted that we had this way, and look at how much damage it's done. We don't need to go down this path. Ugh.
I was given sex, he still wasn't paying.
And that's one of your reasons why you think you would say that sex work is ethical.
Why not?
Sorry.
What about
You're
just
providing a service. You're giving something to someone that someone needs. My elder boyfriend, his wife can't perform. So he pays me, and I do what he needs to be done. And it's that simple.
So go over one more time.
It's not a paycheck.
Your wife's.
It's not anything like that.
What was the situation you just outlined there?
So I have an elder boyfriend. He needs me. And I have something that I can provide for him.
Yeah.
And he can provide something for me in return. Because his wife can't do it. He is married. Is that wrong? I don't know.
Does the wife know about it?
Probably. She should be paying me. Not him.
You know, because I think like there's a difference between like ethical non-monogamy and then like straight up cheating.
As a woman starts to get older, and you all will hear this, their wives don't want to do this. Well, nobody wants to break their hip swinging from a chandelier at 80 years old or 60 or 70. It's not feasible anymore.
The sex swing.
You understand? It's just not that
Doesn't
feasible.
work.
Who
No
wants
more
to break
stand-up,
your hip
no more
over
stand-up
that?
69.
Too dangerous at that point. Is porn empowering or degrading?
Degrading.
I don't know what oh, give me a second. I got mind fucked. Okay, hold on. I need a reset. I need a the sex swings. The sex swings. At 80 years old doesn't want to use the sex swings. They want to break their hips. Is she trolling? I know she's part of Sam Hyde's crew, sort of, to a certain extent. Is she trolling? I hope she's trolling. We're porn.
Degrading.
To who?
Very
Depends
degrading.
on the porn.
I think women have said that it was empowering. A lot of women, a lot of female porn stars.
Local
I think that
feminists.
the incredible like hard drug use that goes along with being a porn star is normal.
I mean, I don't think every porn star does drugs, though, do they?
Black, what's your take? Is porn empowering or degrading?
I think, you know, similar to the talk about, you know, sex work, whether it's, you know, moral or immoral, like I think as long as it's between consenting adults who are doing things that they enjoy and that they want to do, then no, it's absolutely empowering. It's a situation by situation sort of basis. You shouldn't be getting involved in something.
Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold on. Sorry. Ignoring the porn question. So she's wearing this black suit, okay? Like, it's actually not that bad. I actually kind of like it. Not really on her, but I kind of do like the style of it. I just kind of, I like more goth, emo, edgy kind of stuff.
It's not something that you're going to fully enjoy.
It could potentially be the most empowering thing that a person does or experiences.
Sure.
I mean, porn addiction is a very real thing, and it's crippling many men.
Not
across
sure if this is a girl.
the world.
Video game addiction's bad, too, so should
Yeah.
people stop playing video games? There's addictions for everything. Just because somebody's addicted to a specific thing, I don't think that us as a culture should stay away from that thing. If you have an addictive personality, you should know, I should stay away from this thing that I'm addicted to.
Yeah.
Not that the world should stay away from it because this one person's addicted to it.
I think there should be more
That's such a fucking liberal mindset, and I hate it. Like, yes, addiction is bad no matter what, but we can recognize, like, that different addictions are worse than others. There's a hierarchy to everything. That's the natural order of things. Both when it comes to humans, to just work, to food, to everything in life is a hierarchy, including addiction in this case. Some addictions are definitely worse than others. Video game addictions are bad. My brother actually has, or had / still has a video game addiction, and he ruined his family over it. So yes, it is actually bad when it's that severe. But at the same time, I can recognize the fact that even though he ruined his family with his video game addiction, or at least that's part of the reasons why. So there's a bunch of other different issues too in that relationship, just in general. That cocaine would be far worse than video games, because of how much that would actually alter his body physically and mentally, and instead of the more physical issue with video games. in this case. Like there are different tiers to addictions in this case. You can't just make everything equal. Or nothing is equal. There's no such thing as equality other than under the law. And even then, in the year of our Lord 2025, we don't even have equality under the law. I mean, look how Kylan Rittenhouse was treated at, like, look at Daniel Penny, and look at the activist judges going on here. There's no such thing as equality, and not even when it comes to addictions. Yeah, let's not put heroin into every vending machine. Yeah, exactly.
Regulations
These are
around
both
the
people-
consumption and the viewership of porn,
These
and
are
as well
both-
as the making of it too.
These are both people that fully consented. They know what they're doing. They're not forced into it.
How do you know that though?
So you think that when someone signs a contract to perform such and such acts, after they sign the contract, they're performing, he wants to do something different. She already signed the contract. She already gave her consent. She can't do anything about it after that point.
What do you mean? They already are usually know what they're going in there to do. There's a director. They're fully aware of what they're
They
going in
change
there
scenes
to
all
do.
the time.
Okay, so I mean, if she doesn't want to do it, she can fully say no. I'm sure.
No, she can't. She signed a contract.
Well, that's on her for signing the contract then. Like, that's her personal responsibility. I know women don't have any, but like, I'm not, okay, porn bad. Porn actresses bad. A lot of them come from abusive households where they were assaulted at a young age, and have a whole bunch of other issues as well, and usually get into it pretty much as soon as they turn 18. Sometimes younger than that because they lie about their age because they're just so used to it at that point and want an easy out. But at the end of the day, she still signed the contract, so she has to do it anyways if it's part of the contract. Like, it's not rape. It's not forced upon her. She signed the contract, so like that's on her. In this case, I'm kind of with the guy in this regards here. He's technically wrong, and there are a lot of cases where a lot of women are actually sex trafficked, kidnapped, and forced into addiction, into porn, and forced into signing the contract, which is a little bit of a different story. Just a little bit of a different story. But if we're just going basis of assuming that she just signed the contract willingly, then, well, it is what it is.
She knew it's a job. These girls look at this as a job. I don't know if you've ever watched porn stars get interviewed before, but this is fully
I'm
a
very
job
familiar
for
with
them.
porn star
Yeah.
exit interviews, yes.
So
absolutely.
Wait, why are
They're
you?
fully aware
Huh?
of what they're doing when they go in there.
You think all of those women consented to having their, their rape shown to the world?
So because of this minority of things that are happening,
So you don't think
that
women should be safe?
what is that?
You don't believe women should be safe, that
I
kind
never
of
said
porn
that.
isn't okay?
I never. Well, if we're speaking to
He did never say that. Okay, hold on. So, at this point, we're not talking really about the ethical issues of porn, because porn is bad. Okay, I know, hot take, porn bad. We're not really having that conversation anymore. We're having a conversation of if the woman can be forced to do scenes because she signed a contract. Like, if it's breaches the contract, and there's a breach of contract, then she can say no. But if it's not a breach of contract, then she can't really say no because she signed the contract. That's how that kind of works. And if she was forced to sign the contract, which is not what we're talking about, it's an added scenario to the hypothetical, then we're in a different hypothetical if she was forced to sign the like they're talking past each other and adding things that are not happening within this conversation when the idea was if porn is okay or not. And forcing is great, but if it's in the contract that she's supposed to do these, consensual non-consent things, then that's kind of part of it. So, like, far lefties turning on each other with their virtue signaling is pretty funny to see when it happens. Yeah, like this is going like all over the place right now here. You're insane if you allow yourself to even argue such nonsense. I'm not advocating for women to sign contracts for porn. If you think that's what I'm advocating for, we're on completely different pages here. I'm just going within the context of their discussion in this case, because I'm not for porn. I'm not for panty porn either, by the way. I think that's a slippery slope. And a lot of governments use think of the children argument so they can get their digital ID for surveillance purposes. Especially since we're just talking about dead bedrooms like 5 minutes ago. Men do need their release, in this case. But it is one of those cases where it should be used very sparingly and try to avoid it as much as possible because it is extremely unhealthy. But it's also necessarily evil. So I still think porn is bad. But I'm not arguing from the case of women should sign contracts for porn. I'm not making that argument. My argument is within the context of their conversation when they're talking about women signing contracts to perform porn, what they can and can't do in that case.
Porn, I'm saying the minority of what she's speaking about, rape videos and all this stuff, has nothing to do with the majority of consenting
It has
adults,
everything to do with the
$1
industry.
million making porn stars. I don't even really know where we're at this point. Like, where am I?
Yeah, me too, actually.
So some might argue that sex work is the only ethical form of work in a capitalist society because it's women reclaiming their bodies from patriarchal capitalism. What do we think about that?
A woman can be empowered, taking back her power from the patriarchy by doing other forms of work as well, like becoming a mason or doing, you know, certain types of like home improvement or like
I don't think that's happened
infrastructure.
once, becoming a mason. I don't think there's a single
Female
female mason.
construction workers.
Yeah, I did home improvement stuff for quite a long time. You know, I learned how to do like, you know, floor tiling and carpentry
Putting a
and
clock
painting.
back together is different from cutting stone, though, don't you think?
I did mason too. And it was hard for me to get recognized and like fully respected in that they would usually want to hire men for that kind of stuff. So because like I was a woman, like I felt more empowered to do those types of jobs and be recognized for it, as difficult as that was.
I've always been more inclined to male trades and whatnot. I mean, I was a masseuse for 10.
Hold on, I gotta read that description. That's what the.
I've always been more inclined to male trade.
I actually believe this one. Hard hat Harry, also most fuckable. Oddly, I guess I'm gay, Chris. She's the most fuckable one. She's like 250 pounds and has a septum. My dude. Who? What? Oh, I know she would be a lot prettier if she lost the weight, but yeah, you are gay, Chris.
And whatnot. I mean, I was a masseuse for 10 years, and then I got into, well, painting art, but I'm also a professional house painter. They treat you like a moron, even though I have a lot of skill in that field. I'm not a dumb.
Because women are morons. Very few women actually do go into the physical labor jobs for a reason. They're not usually interested in it, and their skill sets aren't made for it, because physical labor is more of a male thing because they have the physical capabilities to do that. It is within their own interests. So of course they're going to doubt you going in. I don't care about the sexism angle. It's just basic bitch, okay, very few women go into this. Are you actually good at this? No matter what. Like, you have to actually prove yourself because it is the outlier. When you are the outlier, you have to prove yourself and show that you actually are capable. Is it unfortunate? Yes. But this could be avoided if we have women back in the kitchen.
You know, I can do this shit.
My wife would say they would just quit right away because they can't hang.
I can hang with the best of them.
I couldn't wear anything revealing. I worked for UPS. I couldn't wear a spaghetti strap shirt while I was, you know, sorting the aisle because the guys down the other end of the aisle, which were all guys, were like, and the packages were falling off the conveyor belt, and they're like,
why do you have to wear a spaghetti strap to take care of the packages? Just wear a t-shirt. If you're saying because it's hot, you can still, like, it's not that much of a different to wear a t-shirt than a spaghetti strap. Like, it's only, like, a little bit more layer of clothing. Not to mention, get something that's, like, loose and flowy and lightweight if it's hot. I mean, look at the fucking Muslims dressing their women in rags in the desert. Like, granted, I guess it depends on the humidity, too. You don't have humidity in the desert. But, like, you don't need to worry about that. Like, you don't need to wear a spaghetti strap. You can just dress modestly. Like, it's only been in the past, like, 50 years the woman can dress like this. Like, you don't need to do that at work. Work have standards, usually have a uniform, usually is a t-shirt, so your boobs aren't hanging out, because that isn't decent, because men are attracted to that, because guess what? Men are attracted to boobs. Wow! Fascinating, and glad we're learning today. What is she on?
Did you win a discrimination lawsuit?
I did.
You did? No, I was just curious.
2, actually. And in order to keep the men in line, you get rid of the women, and that's how you alleviate the problem. Back to work, boys. Let's go.
Stop being a workplace heartthrob.
He's dead.
I know. I just got that porno written all over my forehead. Porno queen.
May I ask y'all, If you weren't a painter and you weren't in the military and you both did porn instead, would that be just as empowering? Would you feel super empowered that the men who you worked with before would see you in that way?
Maybe
Would they
she's
still
not
respect
porn
you?
personality. Maybe
Well,
she doesn't have
I
that
did
personality.
massage, so I got a lot of questions asked. Do I do this? Do I do that? Or whatever.
I asked if it would be empowering.
Me personally, no.
Not every person
I
is a
can- I
porn
can do
is a
more than
porn
that.
actor.
Depends on the porn. I don't know.
Like, you can't take this
I'm
guy
asking
who's
about
on
the
the
ethics of
camera.
it, dude.
No, but you're like, oh, well, you were a welder. What would you have done porn and felt just as good as you did when you were welding?
We're
Like
talking
that makes
about
no
if porn is
sense.
empowering,
Let's
not
grab
what
the
she did
camera
with her
guy and be
life.
like, hey, will you go act in this porn movie and feel just as good at the end of the day as you do on the camera? No, because if he wanted to do that, he would do that. He wouldn't be on a camera. He would be in porn.
Are you done?
So it just doesn't make sense what you're doing.
Are you familiar with the forced sterilization of children in India? Children.
This has been such a hot mess of a conversation. An absolute hot mess of a conversation. Holy shit.
Eric, did you need something?
Yes. I don't want to interrupt.
No, actually.
Is anybody familiar with K's down the street? They make wonderful sandwiches, yeah. Is anybody hungry?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Get into lunchtime.
Order me anything.
Steak and cheese is really hot.
The steak is fantastic, I promise, if
There.
you're a steak eater. You can get Swiss, provolone.
Steak and cheese with Swiss and no mushrooms.
They're making a lunch order in the video. Yep, this is Sam Hyde. this is Sam Hyde, that's for sure. Wouldn't expect anything less of him.
Same thing.
And you want the same as this too? So three. Okay. Do you want both onions and mushrooms?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Can you just get me a soda, Eric?
Just a soda? Okay. What kind of soda?
It doesn't matter. Thank you.
Italian's good for me.
Italian?
Yep.
Road trip. Do they have Italians?
They do.
Guys, of course they got
Everyone
Italian.
has Italians.
Everyone's
This
got
is Rhode Island.
Italian.
They're ruining the neighborhood. Just kidding.
Just get a
They
steak and
brutalize
cheese.
the vegans.
She's getting a
This
steak
is one
and
of those
cheese.
places where they brutalize the vegans.
Some
They got the
Swiss.
least vegan options you've ever seen. You're eating like a green pepper, like an apple. Frank Sinatra, 60s Italians. They don't give a shit about gluten or any of that. They're so,
Base.
they're pigs.
I used to be vegan and I got my blood type couldn't handle it. I got very sick.
For real?
Yeah, because vegan's not healthy. You need meat.
So I'll do a steak and cheese. If they've got cheddar, and extra mayonnaise, no veggies or anything. If they don't do cheddar, then American's fine, but they'll probably do cheddar, right?
Describe your ideal man.
Probably tall.
Oh no, chat. Oh no. Okay, put your predictions in. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad do you think this is gonna be? We're 20 minutes into this video so far. It's been one hot mess after the other. How bad do you think this is going to be as these feminists and possible Trinity talk about their ideal man here? And of course the first thing she says is tall, but we'll get to the rest. Ideal is ideal. Okay, listen, I know that, but we all know that every single feminist, no matter how much they cry about the patriarchy, and rape culture and the glass ceiling, they all describe the same thing. 6-pack, 6 feet tall, and 6 figures. Nothing ever less, of course, of that. A man is 5'8", that's average, disgusting, get him out of here. He makes $80K a year, disgusting, get him out of here. Like, if he's not literally Tom Cruise, disgusting, get him out of here. It's like, I hate women so much, and it's all their standards as feminists. Oh my god! Okay, I don't have it pulled up in a tab. But there was a post that was like went viral a few weeks ago of this absolute like chungus of a woman, Asian, overweight, just not like the cute Asian, Japanese Asian type of stuff. Like this is an ugly woman with her standards, and they're like a laundry list long, and it was absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, you are like a 5. Why are you being this demanding? Is it Tom Cruise a manlet? I don't know how tall Tom Cruise is. I'm just going based off looks in this case. He's a rich, famous man. Oh, there we go. See, that's the thing, right? If you are rich enough and you have enough status, then possibly, depending on the woman, though I would probably say most women, because women do go for more status and wealth just in general, they will overlook the fact that you are an ugly old man that's like 80 years old. because you have the money. But like that's like extreme situations that they have an opportunity for it, you know. Anyway, let's go get into it to see how bad this is, because the first thing she said was tall.
Masculine, but also a bit feminine. Someone that's understanding and cares about me.
Masculine, but a bit feminine. Oh, we're already off to a great start.
And loves me, and that is strong with their beliefs and is creative.
Well, you know, I'm not really into men all that much, but like
I fucking called it! I called it! I said she's a butch lesbian. She's probably the one that beats the woman in a relationship. So, hell yeah, I fucking called it. I called it, goddamn. Knew it.
I had to say, like, my ideal person, they need to be able to stick around for, like, the hard times as well as the good times. You know, as long as there is mutual respect and understanding, that's the most important thing is, you know, respect.
What about physical?
So a healthy relationship, because you do need to respect each other. Wow, fascinating. Tell me more.
Physically.
I would identify as demisexual, so I have to have an emotional connection.
Demisexual, holy shit! I said, okay, that's another thing I mentioned earlier too. When she was talking about like the all gender stuff, I brought up demisexual as like a joke from the Tumblr days. Okay, I know she's gonna explain it for a second, chat. Oh my god, I can't. Oh my god, she's literally the stereotype. She's like every single stereotype put into one. Oh my god, demi fucking sexual. You mean a normal human being? Congratulations.
With a person in order to have an attraction towards them.
Yes. Yes, a connection with a person to be attracted to them. That's demisexual, aka literally a normal human being. You need to have some sort of connection with them to develop emotional bonds. Wow, fascinating. Who could have thought? I can't do this. I like, holy shit. There's no such thing as demisexual. What the fuck is demisexual? It literally is basically needing an emotional connection with somebody to have like sex and a relationship with them, which is what the normal regular human being does. I know there's people out there that just like give sex like crazy, hence why they think that demisexual is some like crazy weird thing. But for most normal people, you do need to have some sort of emotional connection with them, especially when it comes to women, to have sex. Wow.
Most people become attracted to another person once they know them better, or the attraction intensifies. I don't think it needs necessarily.
What if they
needs a
hide their
label.
identity? What if they hide their gender? What if they hide things? Do you feel?
Okay, well then you're gonna be attracted to whatever persona that they're putting up. I know. Okay, this is where I go back and forth with Jean being an actor or not, because like I said, she was on a previous Sam Hyde thing, and he was interviewing her and asking her questions, and she was decently based, but until she wasn't, because she had a lot of this boomer feminism within her in this case, and she's been replicating the boomer feminism a lot this time. So I don't know if that's her natural personality based off the last Sam Hyde episode that she was on, because that's her actual beliefs. Or she's ramping it up for the bit to be the troll, because she was kind of trolling in the beginning with the whole equity thing, unless she straight up did not understand it because she's a boomer. Listen, I'm a little bit too dumb to understand in this case.
Feel that
Yeah,
is a
people
nice
are
thing?
very closeted. They, you know.
You should be able to pick up on these things.
Yeah.
Really are getting to know someone.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Deeply closeted.
This is for me now. Somebody who has a good sense of humor, who is loyal, understanding, who is strong in their beliefs as well. Probably shorter than me.
Cup size.
Yeah, like medium size. You know, cups, like a decent sized butt, and yeah, that's really it. Not really.
Okay, so granted, he kind of seems like some sort of like crackhead. Okay, and he's kind of been all over the place so far since he joined, but he so far has been the most reasonable. Of course, it's the man that's the most reasonable. Goes about the personality that's all like beneficial traits, like funny, you know, loyal, that kind of stuff, and then also attractive. So this is typically what a general. Don't try me if I'm wrong, chat, but that's generally what men want. With trolls hitting him, he's got Somalian head. Yeah, well, the crack is hard to come by, I guess. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned in chat I saw earlier, but the woman with the black suit thing going on that's demisexual, she's also the one that mentioned that she's has sex on the first date. Like okay, she didn't say she goes sex on the first date. They get tested for STDs on the first date. That's the ideal first date to them. So that kind of implies that she has sex on the first date in a lot of ways. So if she's demisexual and she needs an emotional connection to have sex with them in the relationship in the first place, but you're giving it on the first date before you really know that much about the person, are you really that demisexual if you're actually, doing that shit?
That picky.
All right, everybody up on the stage. Everybody up on the stage. Let's go, girls.
I wanted to see the other woman's. I wanted the other woman's opinions. I'm glad to have the male opinion, for it because he's the most reasonable one so far. But like, I wanted to see the other crazies.
Figure this out for me, okay? Who's the least oppressed? Who's the most oppressed? Talk about your decisions as you're doing it.
Does anybody think they're the least and just want to?
I think I'm the least oppressed. I've always done whatever I want. I'll seek things out for myself. I don't wait for anybody to do anything for me or...
You're less
Yes, queen, slay, girl boss, go. Oh my god. Go get it.
oppressed than this man right here.
Yeah, I think men have it
You rip darts?
shabby these days, honestly.
You go ahead.
Shabby and then there's oppression.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to determine the difference. It's hard life.
Here, keep the
and
pen.
I've been
Keep the-
oppressed.
hold that with you.
By society.
This is most oppressed.
Yeah, all right.
So should we be moving?
I know I should be
I guess.
You guys figure
You
it
gotta
out.
figure
Yeah,
it
you
out.
gotta figure it out.
So you're least oppressed. You said you want to slide down more. Are you least oppressed too? What are you guys right here?
I don't know. I mean, okay,
Of
so
course, oh my god, of course the man is taking charge. You know, he's a crack addict, he's got some weird kind of contradictory opinions and different things like that. Also got dogpiled by the woman. He's weird. But of course the man is the one taking charge and actually organizing, so the woman can't handle it themselves. Even the yes girl boss goes slay just takes charge and gets what she wants. Still isn't the one organizing a woman to get in line for the least and most oppressed. Oh my fucking god. Like, oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. I can't. This is so stereotypically just retarded. It just
To say your opinion.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking.
I mean, in terms of like, I guess like race and gender and stuff, like maybe not so much oppressed. I mean, I don't have to work right now, but I did grow up in foster care.
You don't have to work right now? I would like to know their situation that you don't have to work, but you still have nice clothes and ugly ass snake piercings on your lip. Well, I guess they're not. Are they snake if they're up like on top of each other, or are they only snake if they're side by side? Also, I am still not sure if this woman's a man or not. Like, the voice is definitely strange. The hands are a bit on the big side, but they're doing a decent job passing, and I haven't been able to get a good look of the face. That's a man? Look at that jaw? Yeah. So we got a tranny. Disability checks? That's what I was assuming, especially since they're more than likely trans. Hiding his hand? Yeah, that's a big-ass fucking hand, man. Why is the hottest girl there a man? Because, well, that's the thing, right? Because the trainee's actually trying to pass, and so he's doing everything possible to try to look as feminine as possible, versus the women there. Half of them are overweight, and the other half are just feminist. And so fuck the patriarchy. They don't put any effort into what their looks at all. Will that be losing weight or trying to actually look attractive? Because they're trying to reject their femininity as much as possible because they're feminist stuff. That's how it works, right? You're feminist for your femininity, but you reject it, clearly. But the tranny here is trying to be a woman, so therefore he's actually trying.
Move around my entire life. I didn't really have a steady source of income until now. Maybe. Yeah.
I would say in terms of general oppression, I kind of grew up in kind of a poverty situation. As soon as I could work, like the day after I turned 15, I started working in fast food. And
Just smoke on camera.
every single day, you know,
Why?
I've tried my best to
Promise not.
be the only
I promise.
me that I can be. And if a man sees me and doesn't take me as
Just disregarding what the woman has to say.
seriously or doesn't value my opinion or understanding of something, then I don't have to spend any amount of time. I don't owe anything to him. In terms of where my life started, yes.
Oh, there you go. All right, we'll do this.
Oh man, now everybody's smoking.
Yeah.
What's your oppression level?
So she's significantly overweight and she's a smoker? How old is she? She's gonna die before she hits 40. I want to say she's 30, But I do know like being that overweight and smoking significantly decreases makes you ages you up. So and all these fat acceptance movement people always die at between the ages of 30 and 35. Like almost all of them die heart attacks from their obesity. So if she's fat and she's a smoker, bruh, how is her heart surviving? How is she and she's supposed to be doing all this physical labor too? Like painting and what was the other shit that she was doing? She was claiming that she was some sort of physical laborer and to do that kind of stuff. How is her but she's also extremely overweight and smokes. So how is she surviving? How is she not dropping dead from the work? Because she's clearly not in the physical condition to do that physical labor, and she's not losing the weight in the process. What makes sense? My brain cannot compute in this case.
Level.
So, I think for society in general as a whole, I'm not really that oppressed, We had enough money to, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, but we couldn't, go to Disney World, But in terms of, my personal life, I feel like I do get oppressed for my lifestyle choices. People don't agree with how I live my life.
Your family?
Yeah, not my biological family, but the people that I live with.
Oh, roommate?
So, I'm polyamorous. I date multiple people.
Okay. I'm polyamorous. I date multiple people. No wonder she gets her ideal first date is going to a testing center to check for STDs. What happened to being demisexual? Finding an emotional connection with somebody as well? I just Tumblr, the person, yes. She is literally Tumblr encapsulated into one single person here. I just can't. Is anyone surprised? I'm not surprised. I saw some people mentioning in chat, but I was waiting until it happened to actually see if it's real or not. I see some people talking about her being an actor too. I don't think she is, because keep in mind the Twitter tards, the Tumblr people, do actually legitimately exist. They're not just all bots online harassing people. These people are real and true. They just mostly live in the big blue cities because that's where they congregate and that's why they believe the things that they believe in too. Well, I guess you can find it in red states as well thanks to the internet, but it's usually not as bad. They have other factors to kind of moderate that type of deal. And they said before that they're in Rhode Island, and it's kind of a blue area. And plus the other women are pretty retarded too. Not the full mile like this lady is. So it makes sense. I don't think these are actors. The only one that could be would be Jean, the old woman, because she's been with Sam Hyde before. But I can't tell if that's part of her bit or that's actually what she legitimately believes. So, also, what the fuck's her hairstyle? Ugly.
And it's all, consenting adults. Everybody knows about everybody else. I live with one of my boyfriend's, parents. And they don't approve of my lifestyle choices and try to basically be oh, you're just a cheating piece of shit. My partner, on the other hand, is well, she's free to do whatever she wants and see whoever she wants as long as she's being ethical about it. I do suffer a lot of, bullying and oppression in the home for those choices that I make.
From your boyfriend's...
Because you're a whore! I think whore's a little bit too generous. You're just a meat sack? Yeah, you should be oppressed and bullied for it. You're making horrible life decisions. Good. They're trying to correct you and trying to get your life together, because clearly it's a hot fucking mess. I'm oppressed because of my actions. I make horrible decisions, and when the consequences come to bite me in the ass, I'm oppressed. Oh, have pity for me. Have pity for me. I'm so oppressed because of the consequences of my actions. Oh my god, my life is so terrible. Oh, that's literally her goddamn fucking argument. Holy shit.
Parents.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
How much do your boyfriend's parents know about what you do? Are you...
So I won't say it to them, but, all of my partners, I always give them full informed,
Wait. Also, earlier she mentioned she prefers women more than men, but she has a boyfriend. And she lives with him, if I'm understanding this correctly. So she prefers women over men, but lives with a boyfriend, and then she goes and sleeps around, so he's a cuck. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really call him a man since he's willing to be a cuck like that. But at the same time, she has so many contradictions. It's not even fucking funny here. Jesus Christ. So he's just a wall for her, yeah. And apparently he also lives with, their parents, too? Yeah, of course his parents are gonna have some issues with it. Because, she's cheating on their son and he's okay with it. What is she actually providing to the relationship? Okay, listen, men, listen. This is probably not my place to speak because I am a woman, and so therefore I do know I have it better. Okay, like I'm the one with the privilege here, right? I know the dating scene is awful. I know desperate times mean desperate measures, but holy fucking shit! I beg you, please, every single man in chat, have some self-respect. Do not become so desperate that you'll take this fat, demisexual, polyamorous, whore piece of meat, whatever body that she is, just because you want somebody, okay? Okay? Have some self-respect. It is better to live by yourself and jerk off and go to work and be in the wage cage than willingly become a cuck for this thingy majigger, whatever the fuck she is, okay? Once again, maybe it's not my place to state, because I know I have my situation is 100% different than yours, and I know it's rough out there, and I can never actually like fully understand. But please, I beg you, don't do this. Don't do this, okay?
They're fully informed and it's all consensual.
They all know what's going on?
Yeah, they all know
Got it.
what's going on. And, you know, my partner's parents, they'll be like, oh, she's got partners that you don't know about. And he's like, no, she's got partners that you don't know about. And that drives them nuts because they want control.
They want their son not to be fucking cucked!
You know?
Yeah, exactly. How many partners are in this ecosphere right now?
The polycule.
In the polycule.
So there's like primaries, secondaries, and tertiaries. You know, primaries, I've probably got like 2. Secondaries, maybe like 3 or 4. And then there's like tertiaries, people who, you know, are long distance, long term, people I've been with on and off for.
Tertiaries, the people who are long term, but I'm on it
like, you know, maybe 10 or 15 years. It sounds like a lot, but, you know, when everybody's all kind of like supporting each other and doing their own thing, so it sort of works itself out.
They're supporting each other, but they're also doing their own. Okay.
Everybody takes care of one another.
Honestly, it's why people join gangs. To have that support network.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it gang activity by any means, but...
It's a good time to gang
You're getting gangbanged, that's what's happening!
up on some of the savings that we have. Our introductory rate on just a simple savings account is going to be over 3.79%. That's twice the national yield.
I forgot what the
November's
Wells
coming up,
Fargo
Nick.
ad.
A lot of people are going to be playing musical chairs if they're not on wellsfargo.com or on the mobile app.
And exploring some of our great products that we have that aren't exclusionary. It sounds like those parents of that boyfriend of yours are stuck in some old banking structures. Some of the old dinosaurs of the industry, we like to call it.
Leave the banks out of it.
Right. Bitcoin.
Personally, I think oppression is not necessarily like how you grew up. I think oppression is how society's treated you specifically. I think really the only oppression I've experienced myself is my dad is an immigrant from Japan. So during school, I did get bullied a little bit or like made fun of. And I am white passing. A lot of people now, especially that I'm older, think that I am just white. I'm forklift certified. So I would say on a day-to-day.
As she was saying about her being bullied, like, this is one, a good argument against immigration because nobody likes others in their groups. Nobody actually likes foreigners. Everyone has an in-group preference. And 2, she's never going to fully belong because if she were to go to Japan, well, she would probably face a lot of bullying and outcasts there too. Because they are very much a homogeneous society. So no matter where she goes, she's never going to fully belong. She's not going to be fully white and she's not going to be fully Jap either because she isn't. And so both will outcast her. Whites will accept her more with open arms, because as a society we are more accepting, for better or for worse, but she still never actually will belong. And she's also happens to be forklift certified, just comes out there. She is the best lady there, which is sad, which is actually really, really sad. But I guess that's the selection we have.
On a basis, I don't feel very oppressed at all.
Stand in the middle there and look at all these people. Okay, do that right now. Where would you rank yourself? Take mental illness into consideration too.
Probably right where.
You think you're more oppressed than those 4 people? I mean, they just talked about childhood growing up poor. What the fuck? I didn't get birthday presents?
Well, I just don't see that as oppression. I just see that as.
That's not oppression. Well, you were in foster care, so maybe you should be more oppressed.
Yeah, maybe.
So why don't you stand next to her? Let's figure this out here, okay? You were in foster care. Some of these people didn't get birthday presents. Who's oppressed, who's not? Start with the Jap.
Okay, so least.
The Jap!
most. I think I would rank you maybe like in the middle where you're standing, and then you move down that way a little bit. That's
Now yourself.
okay. Wait, that
And
you
say
switch it,
why.
sorry? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's a tricky situation.
I just think oppression is different for
Yeah.
each person. I don't know if it's easy to rank.
I think
The fact is, none of these people are actually oppressed. That's the thing, and they don't. They have to. They're trying to elevate themselves because they don't want to go like, oh, my life is so terrible. Well, other than this person here because she's the definition of Tumblr. Like they don't want to like go too far where they are sound absurd, but they also like don't want to act like they have a worse life because they all deep down know that they're not actually oppressed. If there was like a black person here, I can guarantee you that they would put them on the most oppressed scale just by simply the fact that they're black. Even if they had a stay-at-home mom, you know, four other siblings, and a dad who made over 200K, you know, the black person would still be more oppressed simply because they're black. But unfortunately, well, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, you know, there's none there. They're all white plus the mutt. So, and I guess the troon. So none of them and their actual hierarchy is really oppressed, other than maybe the troon. But the troon is also not like being obvious about the fact that they're a tranny either. They didn't even use the fact that they're trans as part of their whole thing, unless it's what he muttered earlier when he was like over here and I couldn't hear him. So like they don't want to be like, oh, woe is me, but they also don't want to be like, oh, you're better than me either. Like it's just a middle like they don't know what they're doing here.
foster care is probably worse than being half Japanese.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's why I don't think I've been oppressed.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, foster care
Bye,
is a lot
brother.
worse.
So I mean, I don't really.
Actually, I forgot. Sorry, I keep on getting distracted with everything. I forgot the troon was in foster care. That's actually a case of legit oppression in the case, because he was dealt a bad hand that was not his fault of any of his actions. Just God hates him. So that would be a case of like oppression, because that puts him on to a certain not really oppression, because once he gets out of the foster care system, ideally he should be able to work his way up if he gets a job, you know, somehow saves enough money to go to college. Like, it's unfortunate that he's dealt a bad hand by being in the foster care system, but he's not being put down and unable to move up because he was in foster care. He was just at a disadvantage. I guess it's not really oppression, but it's definitely a hard life. See, this is where these women are having problems too.
Really tell a lot of people this, but I'm a multiple felon. I spent the majority of my adult life in maximum security prisons. I feel like I'm oppressed every time I get pulled over. Like anytime I have interactions with law enforcement.
So you're in the
Death penalty. Death penalty. He needs to get the death penalty. Okay, listen, I don't know what his crimes are, but he's a multi-felon who's been in prison for a majority of his life. Just death penalty, okay? Death penalty. You're a waste of space. You shouldn't be here. Like, I'm sure my taxpayer dollars are funding you somehow besides the prisons. I mean, he sounds like a meth head anyways. Like, just get the death penalty, okay? Next time you get pulled over for a traffic violation, death penalty.
right spot.
Probably,
in your opinion.
yeah. I
Okay.
would think so.
And you?
I was born in 64.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably the most oppressed person here. Being female, my age group, I have PTSD. I had whatever childhood. I was molested, and I'm just lucky to be here. That's all I can.
Well, she was molested as a kid. Okay, that's actually pretty bad. That's worse than foster care, though. Usually you get molested in foster care too, but yeah. Which would explain why he would be a truant, but he didn't say that, so that would be me assuming. So yeah, that's a pretty bad life. I don't think she's oppressed because she's a woman, but you know, being molested is actually pretty bad.
Say.
I don't have any ideas, man. I mean, I think they're gonna be here in like 4 minutes.
Can I get a Newport?
You know, because if we cut, everybody's gonna filter outside and break, and then we'll be eating sandwiches outside. The gag is having them eat on stage.
Newport, Jesus Christ.
How much second is
I know, my lungs are starting to hurt.
Okay,
No, it's
okay,
okay. It's
okay,
not
okay.
you. Those are American
All right.
spirits. And I
All
used to
right.
be a smoker, but kind of the yellow
Abortion.
box.
Let's line up
Oh
and
no.
face off.
no.
Anti-abortion, stand on that side of the stage. Who's pro-abortion? Stand on this side of the stage.
Either the shoes here or somebody
Okay.
like
Against.
Line up, line it up, right here.
I'm
Step
for
up to the
taking
plate.
Responsibility.
Why don't you say why you're pro-abortion?
Wow, what a shock. Wait, hold on. The fat chick's actually anti-abortion? That's a shock. I'm surprised any of them were actually anti. Other than maybe Jean, because she's enough a boomer to be anti.
I think everybody's entitled to make their own choices.
I think everybody's entitled to be responsible for their own body.
Wait, Jean's pro-abortion, never mind.
And their decisions. Sex equals getting pregnant sometimes.
Would you say everybody's entitled to what?
To make their own decisions.
To make their own decisions? What about the baby?
Well, you know.
Isn't there someone you didn't ask?
Who, the baby?
Yeah. Are we just ignoring that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not advocating for a side here, but that just seems like you skipped over something.
Pregnancies and giving birth can ruin a person's life or make them lose their life too. Like, let's say, for instance, there's a woman who's already had a bunch of kids, and this pregnancy is going to be so complicated that she may lose her life. Now, is she?
Oh, the life of the mother argument, something that rarely fucking happens. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, okay. Yeah, I think everyone can agree in that case. There can be an exception for that. Though I should say everyone. I'm sure there's going to be people who disagree with that case. But a lot of people would make the exception for that, which is why a lot of red states do have an exception for that. But you know what? That rarely happens, and when it does happen, it mostly happens in diverse communities because they're not healthy at all. So,
gonna abandon the rest of her existing children for this unborn fetus?
What if she's on a moon base and they can put a force field around her to protect her?
Because I'm all for my stance, the way I was raised. I mean, you know, you take responsibility for your actions.
You can just bring the sandwiches back here if that's what that noise is. Thank you.
Ooh, is that thing a person?
Once the baby's born.
So it's not a human being when it's
We got the Italian.
connected to her placenta and being.
Well, you know, biologically, yeah, it could still be a human being, but that human being hasn't been born yet. So men don't start paying child support when the baby's not born yet.
Steak?
You know?
Steak smothered?
That's
You got the smothered.
pregnancy to birth.
Oh, someone got.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think
This is the hot peppers one. Jenny's sandwich is separate. That's that one in there.
If you got steak with mushrooms, check if it's no mushrooms, that's mine. Can we keep debating here? Just keep the debate going, folks. I got hot peppers on mine. Oh, I love it.
This is
Thank
just
you.
steak, cheese, no mushrooms, no onions. Anybody get that?
Experiences in our life.
probably.
Really, you want to run
I've
that over
taken
to Alex?
chances that I
Excellent.
Guys,
forgive the finger.
because I made responsible choices.
Yeah, just
before
eat
I
up, guys. Don't
did
even
not
worry
get
about it.
pregnant. So to your
Oh, you got
issue,
mushrooms and
little
onions.
girls getting for their periods.
Yeah, that's right there. We got that. We'll leave that for Alex.
Another
plain steak cheese.
Diet. You believe how
I eat a lot of plain steak cheese.
This is such a shit show. Oh my god. This is really how seriously you should take this argument. Yeah, I mean, women are speaking, so therefore, opinion disregarded.
What's going on?
The reason, I mean, I'm not saying.
Hey, can we
like,
get
you as
Kay's
an
call back? They
11-year-old,
fucked
you
the
know,
orders up
regular
again.
cycle, but you know, if you go off of birth control, you're not
Take that
going to
one.
stop bleeding for like 3 years because you've been on it for
It's
so
just
long.
steak.
Where's
This is
my
steak, mushroom,
food? I'm
onions
like
too.
very
you want
low
it?
blood
There you go,
sugar.
dear.
Is this one mine?
You have steak
Yes,
cheese
yes.
straight up? Black, we need you back in the mix here.
All right. What? I fucked my sandwich up.
So how come they don't have a say?
Anybody that wants fries, you got
And they
chips.
have.
Sorry. There's
I
no
don't want
problem.
fucking
People
pork
have an
guy.
opinion, but
Like, I just fucking keep eating
I'm
shit in
just
this
saying
fucking
personally.
company.
I don't know. I just feel like I can't talk on other people. I just want to
But
have the same.
I'll go fuck myself.
I just think
There's
that
Coca-Colas in the
Do you
cooler.
think
We're gonna get
it's the club itself, or do you think it's a baby?
I said I didn't feel strongly about it. That's why
It's
I
a thing
don't
about
argue
biology,
about it.
Sam.
What would a biology person know that you wouldn't know?
I don't know. I haven't studied biology. I mean, the last time I took biology was freshman year, so I don't.
Isn't it just an if you look at something as alive, isn't it just an obvious fact that it's alive?
If you took it out, would it still be alive?
Yeah.
At what stage?
Until the stage that it like bled out and died. Imagine like holding a little baby in your hand, and then some like big-nosed college guy. Do you even know if it's alive? That's the type of argument they teach you to make at college. That's retarded, though.
Bobby, did we have Coca-Cola?
I really
There's only one.
Sorry, I'll split it.
Maybe it is a Coca-Cola.
You got some split.
Is this baby actually alive?
Instead of
I'm
getting
Dr. Weinstein. I don't know if it's actually alive. When you use the exception to frame the argument, that's just more of that Jew.
But there's literally no thought going through that head. Like, she's white and she's a Jap. You think she'd be better than this, but there's not a single thought cloud going in those mind. It's just dead. Head empty.
Shit. It's like, should I drive my car to work today? Well, what do you mean by the word drive? Let's talk about a normal pregnancy. If you have a normal baby in you, forget the cigarette shit. You just have a baby in you. Should you be able to get rid of it or no?
Right
Fuck
ends,
that.
right?
No.
Where does it begin and where does it end?
I don't care if it's a unicorn. I don't care if the mother's got
But-
tentacles. I don't care if you do
You
a
asked,
backflip.
but you asked,
Well,
when does life
there you go, Bum.
sustain?
Eat, bite. Yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
They probably fucked your sandwich up too, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Make sure we're sharing the Coca-Cola.
It's a sad thing, but my father said never trust a fucking Italian. I like this guy. All my fucking friends going to high school with Italian. I can't even fucking fuck him.
So I just think we're forgetting about is basically left up to the woman because it is her body.
What about the baby's body that's being murdered? Like, I'm totally willing to accept a good argument against that.
Who cares about these babies after they're born? Anybody?
Yes. The baby's got
Who
3
cares
legs.
about that
I don't
after
give
they're
a fuck
born?
about that.
About
I'm
them
saying
having
if it's a
MS
normal
or-
baby, what's your excuse for murdering?
It's hard to raise a baby with 3 legs.
I don't know.
Oh my god. Trying to change the conversation. Fucking typical woman. A typical leftist not being able to actually give a solid answer. That, like, this is similar to, like, the porn debate that they had earlier. Like, they can't actually address the question at hand. They have to move it to a different topic. So in this case, we're talking about specifically about abortion, okay? You know, why is it good and what is bad? We're not talking about what happens after the baby is born. We're talking specifically before the baby is born with when it comes to the topic of abortion. They did the same thing earlier with porn, okay? Is porn actually ethical? And instead they started talking about, like, contracts and stuff like that. Okay, now they changed the conversation again. You know, now we're talking about contracts, not what porn itself being ethical and being able to consume. Like, they're not able to stay on point in this case because they have to try to make some sort of hypothetical that's unrelated to it, well, okay, or tangentially related to it, but not actually within the frame of the question. It's insufferable. I love how one of them immediately brings up about child support. To be fair, in the case of Jean, the old woman, she brings up child support because she was burnt pretty badly. So her husband, boyfriend, I can't remember if they were actually married or not, cheated on her and left, and she wasn't able to get any child support for some reason. I don't know why. And so she feels really screwed over by the system, and she complained that earlier that she couldn't get a job because they wouldn't hire her. She's a woman, which is base, but also illegal. So she should have been able. Yeah. Anyways, she doesn't really make much sense. Typical woman in that regards. So for sure, her main issue is basically child support and how men screw you over when you have a kid.
You know, it's not just special needs for the child, it's special needs for the wallet, which we can help provide financing for at Wells Fargo.
That's our retarded kid promise. That investment fund, that's for people with retarded kids.
We're working out the name. We're working out the name.
Hey guys, thank you very much. This has been Her Story, a journey in her words. I'm Allison Tinsdale.
And I'm Jamie White.
From Wells Fargo and Vice Media. Thank you very much. Is the audio okay?
She's labbed up.
My wife says men are dogs.
The other humans here, they're not labbed up.
Right.
Don't worry about getting it in the shot.
It doesn't matter. If
I don't think, Eric, does it matter if the boom
It
gets in the
doesn't
shot?
matter. But I do, I'm just like him, I want to. Just let us know if you're not getting.
All right. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I'll just go like this.
Come on, Ben.
You'll get to go overhead, right?
Yeah, that looks more professional.
My wife said men are dogs. That's what she said.
Base.
I love her to death. Jilly
Wait,
Bean
hold
and I
on.
get
What?
along
No,
great.
I didn't say base.
Thanks for watching another.
I don't know how I did it, but for some reason, I heard that women are dogs. I don't know how I did that, but I did that. Every woman has a werewolf fetish anyways, so, you know, men being dogs is actually probably not a bad thing. Freudian slip. Yeah, I know, right? Shit, I'm ousted, chat. I'm ousted. It's Joe over. It's Joe over. Oh, fuck me. Amal wants a dog pill so hard she thinks all men are dogs. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Oh, there we go. Men are dogs. Dogs are pretty loyal and care about people. See, that's not so bad. I like that mentality too. So maybe that is based after all. I need more copium for what the fuck I just said and thought there. Okay, listen. I need I need more excuses. Please stop talking, Amal. I will never stop talking. I must yap.